Maharaj, Nanda.
And then all Krishna and Lord and ministering and directly by the praise, making all that it's completely free to think everything to waste the ocean of
Hare Krishna. So today we have his guest Pranavananda Prabhu. He's from India. He is a brahmachari, as you see. Prabhu born in a Sri Vaishnava family, and then he did his engineering from SRM College, Chennai. And while he was doing his engineering college, he happened to have darshan of His Holiness Radhanath Swami while Maharaj went there for book launch in Tamil. So Prabhu saw Maharaj and got inspired by him, and then eventually got inspiration from His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, and then he started serving him as a personal servant. And he is in charge of ISKCON Temple, Adilabad, and he has got more than 1 million.
राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद् सवय शरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की भुवन मंगल हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्रीमद्-भागवत महापुराण की जय। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, Chapter number 31, Text number 4. Tam agatam ta uttaya pranipatyabhinandanaya cha पूजयित्वा यतादेशं सुखासीनम् अथा ब्रुवन् तमागतं तवुत्थाय प्रणिपत्याभिनन्दनाय च प्रतिपत्याभिनन्द्य च पूजयित्वा यतादेशं सुखासीनम् अथा ब्रुवन् तमागतं तवुत्थाय प्रणिपत्याभिनन्द्य च पूजयित्वा यतादेशं सुखासीनम् अथा ब्रुवन्
तमागतं तवुत्थाय प्रणिपत्याभिनन्द्य च पूजयित्वा यतादेशं सुखासीनम् अथा ब्रुवन् तमागतं तवुत्थाय प्रणिपत्याभिनन्द्य च पूजयित्वा यतादेशं सुखासीनम् अथा ब्रुवन् तमागतं तवुत्थाय प्रणिपत्याभिनन्द्य च पूजयित्वा यतादेशं सुखासीनम् अथा ब्रुवन्
Bhagavatam Uttaya
Tamagatam Prautaya
Vinandyacha
Pranipatya Vinandyacha
Yatadesha
Daitva Yadadesham
Atadruvan
Asinam Matadruvan
Amagatam Tautaya
Tamagatam Prautaya
Vinandyacha
Pranipatya Vinandyacha
Yatadesham
Daitva Yadadesham Sukashinam Matadruvan Tamagatam Prautaya Pranipatya Vinandyacha Pujayitva Yadadesham Sukashinam Matadruvan Tam to him Agatam appeared te all the prachetas sthaya after getting up pranipatya offering obeisances abhinandya offering welcome cha also pujayitva worshipping yatadesam according to regulative principles sukasinam comfortably seated atha thus abruvan they said. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhaya Charana Ravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As soon as the Pratetas saw that the great sage Narada had appeared, they immediately got up even from their asana. As required, they immediately offered obeisances and worshipped him. And when they saw that Narada Muni was properly seated, they began to ask him questions. Purport. It is significant that all Pratetas were engaged in practicing yoga to concentrate their minds on Supreme Personality of Godhead. Today we have text 5 also. So we will read the translation of text 5. All the Pratetas began to address the great sage Narada. O sage, O Brahmana, we hope you meet with no disturbances while coming here. It is due to our great fortune that we are now able to see you. By the traveling of sun, people are relieved from the fear of darkness of night, a fear bought by the thieves and rogues. Similarly, your traveling is like the sun's, for you drive away all kinds of fear. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuro Nilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Ishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Madhyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Ham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnava Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Prayevasha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I offer my pranams to Radha Govinda Prabhu and seek his blessings that we can speak something about Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam verse today. So my pranams to all the devotees assembled for the Bhagavatam class also. So today it's a very, very beautiful verse. How we have to take advantage of the association of sadhus. Here, Pratetas very nicely did their penance to please Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada is writing in the purport here, it is significant that all Pratetas were engaged in practicing yoga to concentrate their minds on Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is something which is very, very difficult to do, concentrating the mind. We all chant, we all hear, but it is very difficult to hear it with lot of concentration. When we were studying, our teacher would say that you are all body present, mind absent. So should I give you attendance or not? Like that she would ask. So you would say, teacher, attendance is for the body, not for the mind. So please give us. But more than being body present, we have to be mind present. We have to invest our mind in hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam when we are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So here, to help Prachetas, to bestow mercy on Prachetas, Narada Muni has come here. And as soon as the Prachetas saw the great sage Narada, they immediately got up from their asana. There is a way of welcoming the sadhus. There is a way of welcoming what is the greatness of a sadhu's association. So Lord said, see, there is an ant. Go and ask the ant will tell you. And Narada went to the ant, and immediately the ant died. So Narada got very nervous. He said, I went to this ant and the ant died. So he came back to Bhagavan and he said, you told me to go to this ant and the ant died when I went. He said, okay, go to this insect, which is crawling on the tree. So Narada went and the insect dies. So again he goes to Bhagavan, insect is dead. He tells, go to this bird which is flying in the sky. As soon as Narada goes, the bird falls down and dies. So then he goes back again to Bhagavan. And Narayana says, okay, go to this calf. And Narada Muni goes to the calf and the calf dies. And then Narada Muni gets so, he feels very bad and he goes to Bhagavan and he says, what's happening? Okay, go to this small child who is born and then he will tell you. Then as soon as Narada goes to the small child, he also died. And then he becomes very offended. He goes, Bhagavan, what is happening? Please tell. And then Narayana shows that Indra, Varuna, Vayu, Brahma, all these four are carrying a personality through the entrance of Vaikuntha. So Narayana says, this is what happened to the soul. When you went, the ant died and he got promoted to the life of an insect. And from there he got promoted to the life of a bird. From there he got promoted to the life of a calf. And then he became a human being. And now he is entering Vaikuntha just by your moment's association with it. So we say, sadhu sangha, sarva sastra koi, lava matra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi koi. Just a moment's association of sadhu can be life transforming. When it can be life transforming is we have to do from our side 3 steps to make our life transformed if we are in the association of great souls. First thing is that we should recognize the great personality. Very difficult actually. Who is great personality? Anybody has definition? Who is great? Whom do you consider as great personality? Definitely our Radha Prabhu. Yes, Srila Prabhupada is great personality and Prabhu being Srila Prabhupada's disciple, sincere follower is great personality. Who else is great personality?
So I'm saying whoever associates.
Oh, whoever associates with Srila Prabhupada is great. Yes, definitely. Yes. That's what Srila Prabhupada said. If you know who is sitting next to you, you will find him. Because we don't know actually who is next to us. We have all Srila Prabhupada's associates are very, very special. Yes. Anybody else has a definition? Who is great personality?
Devotee of Krishna.
Who is devotee of Krishna is great? Okay.
Devi Prakriti Mashrita.
Daivi Prakriti Mashrita. Whoever has surrendered to Srimati Radharani, Daivi Prakriti is great. Yes. Any other thoughts on who is great personality? Mahatma. We Indians know Mahatma very well. So who is a Mahatma? Not Gandhi. But who is a Mahatma is one who has taken shelter of Bhagavan is Mahatma. So anybody who is on the path of Krishna consciousness, who is trying to spread Krishna consciousness, who is related to great souls, is a very great soul, is a Mahatma. The first step is that we have to recognize a great soul. And the second step is that you have to worship a great soul. In whatever way, like here, Narada Muni being a spiritual master, he has come to Prachetas. So first thing we do is we stand up when we see somebody great, somebody greater than us, somebody elder to us, somebody more advanced than us. That is the way of offering our respects to them actually. So here it says that first thing they did is they immediately got up even from their asanas. First, number 1. And then as required, they immediately offered obeisances. First thing is getting up and then offering obeisances. And then third, worshipped him. Third thing is worship. So every day we worship Srila Prabhupada when we do Guru Puja. So every day we honor Srila Prabhupada with Guru Puja and then we go to the Bhagavatam classes. And in the morning also, when you see, when we do Mangalarati, we do Guru Ashtaka. So Guru is the main personality in the life of a devotee who has connected us to Krishna. So such a spiritual master, Narada Muni is coming. So they are getting up, they are offering obeisances and they are worshipping him based on who the other personality is. And then it says, after he is peacefully seated, then they are asking questions. And the first question they asked is, was your journey all right? You did not have any disturbances in the journey, right? Whom they are asking? A person who has visa for all the planets. He is a traveler, he can go anywhere. Narada Muni, nobody can stop. No immigration can stop. He can just be present here. So they are asking him also whether your travel was good. You did not have any disturbances. So this is the way we exchange kind words actually with the person. So when you exchange kind words, when you speak lovingly, then there is a relationship which is formed. And then you inquire about them, then you ask about spiritual questions. So these days, especially in India, we see people, when they come to the sadhus, they don't inquire much about spirituality, but they just ask for blessings. What blessings? One time, I was in a place called Warangal in Telangana. So one person, he took me to all the programs there, and then he took me to all the famous temples. So it was very nice. It was night, almost 12 o'clock, and then he was dropping me at the airport. And this person said, "Prabhuji, it was very nice to have your association. Today, from morning till night, we were going to different spiritual programs. I just have one request to you." So I said, "Yes, please." So he told, "I am already 35 years old. So please bless me that I get married very early." I said, "Prabhu, you are seeing me and you are asking me for blessing to get married." Then, he did so much service. He did such nice, sincere service. But at the end of the day, he's asking a sadhu a blessings to get married. Somebody comes and they ask, give a fruit from your hand. He said, "Why do you want the fruit?" "So that I can conceive a baby." So this kind of strange ideas they have actually, what to get from a sadhu. But here, our Vedic scriptures are saying sadhu is just meant to give us spirituality, spiritual knowledge. And any association, any kind of exchange with sadhu can be delivering. You see, Narada Muni delivered different devotees in different ways. Any examples of, you remember how Narada Muni delivered different bhaktas? Like Narada delivered Dhruva by giving him the mantra when he was going in the forest. So Narada Muni came there and he said, "Are you a small child? Why are you going? It's very deadly forest." It's like, "No problem. I have decided that I am going to go and do my penance to see Narayana." Said, "Okay, then I will help you. Take this mantra and go and chant, and Narayana will come." So Narada Muni delivered Dhruva by initiating him. Any other examples you remember?
Mrigari.
Yes, Mrigari. So Narada went to Mrigari and what did he say? He showed him a live futuristic movie, AI movie, that what is going to happen when you are dead. So then he saw everything in the hell. And then he asked, "Will your family also take the quota of the karma?" No, we won't take. "So are you ready to do their service like this?" He said, "No." "Now what will you do?" "I will chant. I will become a devotee." And then he becomes a devotee. Okay, any other ways of how Narada delivered bhaktas? How did he deliver?
He was doing all the activities, so he was trying to give you the knowledge of God.
Yeah, by giving spiritual knowledge, by teaching them, by preaching to him. Okay. Any other way how Narada delivered devotees?
Kuvera and Manigriva.
Kuvera and Manigriva by cursing them. If you want to know how did I get scoldings from spiritual master? So people feel it very nice actually when they hear how did you get chastised? What did you get corrected for? So it is not pleasing to the person who got it, but it is pleasing to the person who is hearing it. What happened to you? Did a great soul chastise you? Did a great soul correct you? So that's a very great thing also. If a great soul is chastising us, correcting us, keeping us on the right track. So Narada Muni, by cursing Kubera and Manigriva, telling them to become trees in Vrindavan, delivered Kubera and Manigriva to such an extent that they were asking, "We want to remain as trees, we don't want to go back." And any other way you remember Narada Muni delivering bhaktas? There's one more example which I'm looking for. Yes.
Prahlad Maharaj.
Prahlad Maharaj. Yes, Prahlad Maharaj, by preaching to the mother of Prahlad. Kayadu was asleep, but Prahlad was hearing. Okay. Any other? Yeah, Valmiki. Any other specific, very nice thing Narada did?
Vyasadev.
He delivered Chitraketu Maharaj by giving him what he wanted, what he was adamant for. Narada and Parvata Muni, both of them said, "Oh Chitraketu, just give up this idea of having a child. It has been long time. Just be surrendered to Bhagavan." Chitraketu said, "No, no, no, I want." So Narada said, "Okay, take whatever you want, but he will be Harsha Shoka." So Narada, great soul like Narada, a devotee of Lord, surrendered devotee of Lord like Narada, he can deliver devotees by cursing them, by giving them what they want, by initiating them, by lecturing to them, by giving their association, whatever way. An association of devotees perfect in all ways. So when we take this association, first step is to recognize them, recognize the greatness. So when we recognize the greatness, how do we recognize the greatness of a personality? Is by hearing from them and hearing about them. So that's why we make sure that we hear from Srila Prabhupada through his books, through his lectures, each and every day, whenever we get time. And second thing is to read about Srila Prabhupada. So one devotee recently was telling me that he has a great desire to read Leela. And then he told me that he just became devotee just by reading Prabhupada. There is one book called Prabhupada. So he just read that book. A completely outsider. He just read that one book, Prabhupada's life, and he became a devotee. And then he was saying, if it's a small book was so inspiring, what will happen if I read entire Srila Prabhupada's Leela? I said, you will become a pure devotee also. Just by hearing about the greatness of great souls. So that's why it is said that we have two kinds of Bhagavatas. One is the Pustak Bhagavata and one is the Vyakti Bhagavata. When we honor the personal Bhagavata very nicely, then we understand the book Bhagavata also very nice. So both of them are related actually. Both of them are very much related to each other. So Narada Muni here is coming to Prachetas, and then they are saying something here very interesting. All the Prachetas begin to address great sage Narada. Oh great sage, oh Brahmana, we hope you met with no disturbances while coming here. It is due to our great fortune that we are able to see you. So somebody asked this question, who is the most fortunate person in this world? The most fortunate person is who has the association of devotees. Who has the association of devotees. So this is something we have to be very, very fortunate about. That staying in such a far place also by Srila Prabhupada's mercy. You get so many great souls coming here. I heard Srila Indradumna Swami Maharaj is coming next week to Brisbane. Devamrita Maharaj was there. And then Indradumna Maharaj is coming, and so many great souls. Mukunda Prabhu was telling me how many devotees come here to such places, far off places. Why do they come? To give us mercy. So why the great souls travel? The only reason they travel is, you see, like great soul like Shukadeva Goswami, he would just stay in one place till the time it takes to milk a cow. You have heard that in Bhagavatam. So somebody asked when we were telling this in the class, was he waiting for a glass of milk? I said, no, he would not drink the milk. He would just stay there and try to preach something to the person there and get started again. He was not attached to drinking milk. So why do the great souls come? Is that because we have turned ourselves away from Krishna. Janasya Krishnat Vimukasya Daiva Adharma Silasya Sudukkitasya Anugrahayaiva Charanti Nunam Bhutani Bhavyani Janardhanasya. This, that Jiva, what the Jiva did is that Janasya Krishnat Vimukasya Daiva. We turned away from, we showed our back to Krishna and we were walking away from Krishna. So the devotees of Bhagavan were thinking, "Arey, this jiva is going away from Krishna. How should I deliver it? Janasya Krishnat vimukasya daivat adharma silasya sudukkitas." And they have become very, very bad in following the dharma. They have stopped following dharma and they are suffering miserably in this material world. So then, adharma silasya sudukkitasya anugrahayeva charanti nuna. Just to deliver them, great souls have come. And you see how merciful is Srila Prabhupada. He went to America. He delivered so many people there. Just in India, before I came, we were attending a conclave. It's called the Sanatana Dharma Conclave. And many spiritual organizations were called. And the topic which was given to us was, how should spirituality be relatable to the Gen Z generation? That was the topic of the conclave, which we all had to speak. So different spiritual organizations, they were speaking big lectures, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, they were giving talk. Then it was my turn. So then I just spoke about Srila Prabhupada's interactions with the devotees in the Western world. And at the end of my 20-minute talk, everybody got up in the auditorium and gave a standing ovation. And I was thinking in the mind, Shri Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We just said how Srila Prabhupada could relate to each and every audience. How Srila Prabhupada had perfect questions to ask. How Srila Prabhupada gave perfect answers. Everything about Srila Prabhupada was so perfect. So you see all these kinds of different groups which were coming to Srila Prabhupada. So one such incident I was remembering is that there was a group of people who would not wear any clothes. Where they would all be naked, and they called Srila Prabhupada to give a class in one of such programs. And everybody were without clothes, and Srila Prabhupada is sitting in the asana. And Srila Prabhupada said, "Oh, you are thinking that without clothes you are enjoying very nicely? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that the body is also a cloth. Remove the cloth, and what is inside, experience the bliss of Atma, the real position, and then you'll be more happy." Then most of them were so attracted, actually, "Oh, this is also a cloth. Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya." Give up this material body also, which is a covering, which is like a cloth. And then you experience what's with the Atma, the soul. And then many people from there started going to the Bhagavad Gita classes. So how Krishna gives intelligence to exactly tell what a person needs. We may be thinking that, oh, we have prepared very nicely for the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class and we will speak. But Krishna is the one who gives intelligence. And to whom Krishna gives intelligence and what to speak, which is needed at that kind of time, is that how much connected we are to Krishna. That is most important. Narada Muni is so surrendered to Bhagavan. You see in the life of Narada, as Narada boy, some things which he did that made his devotional life very, very perfect. Number one is he associated with the Bhakti Vedantis who came to do Chaturmasya. So we should never give up moments of association also. Anything we hear that a great soul is coming, a sadhu is coming, a devotee is coming, we should never compromise going there and taking the association. Number one, Narada every day he would go to the Bhakti Vedantis and do some service with them. And being pleased by Narada boy's service, Bhakti Vedantis would give them their Mahaprasad. Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Bhakta pada duliyar, Bhakta pada jal, Bhakta bhukta vashishtati namahabal. Let us recite this verse, very nice verse. Bhakta pada duli, ar Bhakta pada jal, Bhakta bhukta vasishta, Tina Mahabal. Three things which deliver us. Very, very potent, very, very powerful. Bhakta Padaduli, the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees. So it's not that you grab the feet and take the dust, forcefully. Sometimes when I go to the programs, when outside programs, I come with lot of scratches on the body because everybody wants to touch and take something from personality. They feel that it is very nice. So one time I took 15 days to heal the injury. Actually, somebody grabbed, they had big nails, and they grabbed the feet and they scratched the feet. So this is, would that give mercy? Scratching the sadhu, will that give mercy? No. Bhakta Padaduli is that we make the words of the sadhu most worshipable to us. We make the instructions of the spiritual master as the greatest thing in our life. That is what exactly it means to take the dust of the lotus feet. That we consider him very important. Bhakta Padaduli or Bhakta Padajal, washing the lotus feet of the devotee, spiritual master. When we have Vyasa Puja and things like that, we wash the lotus feet of the spiritual master and we drink. It is very, very important. So, when Lord Ramachandra was crossing the Sarayu and going on the other side, Guha, he comes to Lord Rama and he says, Lord Rama, before you step into my boat, I will wash your feet. So Lord Rama said, why do you want to wash my feet? I don't allow anybody to wash my feet. So he said, no, I will have to wash your feet. He said, why? He said, I heard that you touched the stone and it became a lady, Ahalya. It turned into a lady, it turned into a woman, Ahalya. See, Rama, I have only one way of livelihood, that is this boat. And I am already married. And now you touch your feet to my boat, and if this becomes another woman, my expenses are doubled and my income is gone. So I will wash your feet and only then I will allow you to go inside. So Rama said, okay, it is the question of your livelihood, so I will not say no. And then Guha, he washed Lord Ramachandra's lotus feet and he gave the Charanamrut to all his family members. And then Rama was seeing, Sita Mai was seeing, something else is happening. He's not just washing. See Rama. But Rama was very pleased actually. We see in the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also when they were doing Gundicha Marjan, one Bengali Vaishnava, he comes and that's a great blessing. Bhakta Padaduli or Bhakta Padajal, Bhakta Bhukta Avashishta, the Maha Prasad. The prasadam which we offer to Bhagavan is called Mahaprasad. And devotees are very excited for the Mahaprasadam. There is nothing more valuable than the Mahaprasad. So once in Chowpati Radha Gopinath temple, a devotee couple, they purchased a very nice diamond necklace. And then they went to offer it to Radharani. And they gave it to Radharani and the Pujari offered the diamond necklace to Radharani. And while returning, he also gave a small cup of halwa. So this devotee couple, they kept the diamond necklace on the cup of halwa and they were walking. And then they saw that Radhanath Swami Maharaj was going around the temple. So they thought, let me go and take association and blessings. So they put this box under a table like this. So a cup of halwa and on that diamond necklace worth about 6-7 lakh rupees, Indian rupees. So they kept it under the table and they went to take Maharaj's darshan. And when they came, it was missing. Diamond necklace was there, Mahaprasad was missing. So this devotee was telling that for devotees, nothing is more valuable than Mahaprasadam of the Lord. Diamond necklace, Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundarim, only Mahaprasadam, nothing else. So prasadam is such an important part of devotee's life actually. The Mahaprasad is not any item, but it is mercy. It is something which Lord has personally honored. So it is Mahaprasad But something which is honored by the devotee becomes Maha Prasad. It has greater potency than the Mahaprasadam of the Lord. So a devotee should always be enthusiastic. Try to take some remnants of the spiritual master of the great souls. Bhakta Padaduli or Bhakta Padaja. One particle of Mahaprasad, like in the life of Ramanujacharya, we hear one day he goes to wash his hands after taking Mahaprasad in the temple pond. And all the fishes who ate the remnants of Mahaprasad, they got the 400 Vaikuntha Parshad form and they got liberated. That is the potency of honoring the Sesha Prasadam of the great souls, the Mahaprasadam of the great souls. So then, it is due to our great fortune that we are now able to see you. By the traveling of the sun, people are revealed from the fear of darkness of night. When sun comes, Krishna Surya Sama, Maya hoy andakar, Jaha Krishna, Taha nahi, Mayera adhika. As soon as the sun rises, darkness is gone. Why darkness is scary? It seems he is saying a fear bought by thieves and rogues. Yesterday night we were in one place, and because yesterday was Friday night and somebody was intoxicated, and we were all standing very peacefully and doing our thing, and they came and they started shouting, and all of our devotees got scared. And I asked, is it normal here? He said, it's normal on a Friday evening, they said. So as soon as it becomes night, then we get more, conscious of where we are going, what we are doing. Because there is some fear, because it's night. It's in a broad daylight, you are not fearful actually. The threat may remain, but you are not fearful because sun is there. Sometimes in childhood, if our parents are away and we were alone in the home, we would get really scared. And the thing we would do is immediately on the switch. And when light is there, no, you don't get scared so much. So the light is something which drives the fear away. So here the Prachetas are saying, similarly, your travel is like a sun. The sadhus traveling, the spiritual masters traveling, great souls traveling is also like the sun's travel to remove darkness and fear from the lives. Ajnana timirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. What does a guru do? What does Srila Prabhupada's purports and lectures, and what does the sadhus' instructions, devotees' lectures do to us? Is that they remove fear. What is the fear which we have? We have many, many fears. And the biggest fear maybe, death is the biggest fear. But when we surrender to a sadhu, when we surrender to the words of a sadhu, the fear of death is gone. Fear of death is gone because the life after death is eternal. People fear of death so much. Actually, we see. I know somebody who had got cancer, and the doctor told him that he will live easily for next 2-3 years. But he was so fearful of cancer that he died in 1.5 months, just because he was fearful. He got cancer at the same time when Kadamba Maharaj also was diagnosed with cancer. And we see what a glorious leaving was Kadambakananda Maharaj's passing away from this world. How fearless, how clear. If you see the last video, I saw it 100 times maybe. The way he spoke with so much clarity. How it was just because the devotees who have surrendered. It is such a pramana to everybody in this world. They should see. Every non-devotee should see the video of Kadambakananda Maharaj to just know that death, we need not be fearful of death. And that only happens to Krishna consciousness. It only happens to the practice of Krishna consciousness. So Narada Muni here, he is able to drive away the fear of the Prachetas. When he was in a very, very sensitive, miserable situation, he had great hope and faith on Krishna. See, Narada boy had only mother, and the mother passed away, and the Bhaktivedanta is left. Nobody was there. And at that moment also, Narada practiced his spiritual life very, very sincerely. He never lost faith. Arey, why is this happening to me? But then, like yesterday, we were discussing what I can do in this situation. In any situation, we have to take shelter of Krishna. That is something which is important. And Narada, without blaming God, without accusing Bhagavan, that, oh, I have done so much service to the Bhaktivedantis and I have received so much mercy. Why is this happening to me? He did not ask, but he kept with his spiritual practice. This was the first step which Narada had to undergo. Number one, what was the first situation? First thing was association went away. Bhaktivedantis went. But still he kept with his practice. So sometimes in our lives, we may get association, very, very strong association. But sometimes we may not. Because, in India, if you come to Mangalarti in Mayapur, how many devotees are there? 2,000 devotees are there. But when you come here, today was Maha Mangalarti. How many devotees came, So there is less devotees. But still, we have to keep up with our practice. We cannot say that only if I have 2,000 devotees like in Mayapur, I will come to Mangalarti. No. Sometimes we may get that kind of association. Sometimes we may not get. Narada got Bhaktivedantis association. He served them. He took their Mahaprasad. He heard from them and the Bhaktivedantis left. And he was alone. But still he kept up with his practices of spirituality. Number one test is that we may not get association all the time the way we want, but we have to create that association within our own ecosystem by hearing, by reading, by associating. That is number one. Number two is that his mother left. That is very, very, very sensitive thing. It's somebody whom you love. The only person who is in charge is gone. But still, he did not leave the spiritual practice. He continued with the spiritual practice. And the third, the biggest test which Narada got is Lord appeared to him and disappeared in a second. Narada may say, Bhagavan, you tested me so much, but you did not give the result of the test. You just came and I was just relishing your darshan and you disappeared. Bhagavan said, I need you to anchor more and more. So you have seen me now, again practice. And with that faith on Bhagavan, he practiced his spirituality constantly. And now we glorify him as a great spiritual master of so many stalwart Vaishnavas. The only personality who appears in every canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is Narada. It's not any other personality than Narada Muni who appears in it. You cannot escape Narada, whoever you are. And how did he become such great? Because of his personal example of what Narada did as Narada boy, a small child. So we have to understand the great position of Narada Muni and his spiritual practice. And that's why, because of his purity, because of his practice, wherever he went, he could inspire people to take to Krishna consciousness. Who were the sons of Daksha? How many sons of Daksha? Two sets of sons. One time 70,000?
Started he had 10,000 and later on they became devotees and then he had another 1,000.
Yeah, so he converted 10,000 sons of Daksha to sannyasis, brahmacharis. Mass preaching. Mass preaching he did. I think he is the first youth preacher. He is kids preacher, youth preacher, congregation preacher, vanaprastha preacher, everything he did actually. Narada. He did bridge preaching. So many preaching he did. He converted. The more connected we are to Krishna, the more our words connect to the King. The more transformation you want to bring in this world, the more connection we need to develop with our spiritual master. That is the only way where if we want to inspire people, if we transform. So it's a very nice words today, speaking on the glories of Narada Muni. Here Srila Prabhupada is ending the purport by saying that when one meets Narada or his representative, a spiritual master, one is freed from all anxiety brought by ignorance. This is very important point actually. The spiritual master is there to remove our ignorance, show us the path to Krishna consciousness, and to give us constant guidance and strength to walk on the path of Krishna consciousness. The more we associate with Narada-like devotees and the more we worship them sincerely, respect them wholeheartedly, and then the more we hear from them and try to understand the message, our lives will be transformed. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Srila Prabhupada ki, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Mahapurana ki, Hare Krishna. So I ended exactly on time. IST is half an hour late, but I did not keep up with our tradition of doing that. So yes, any questions, any comments, any?
Prabhupada clearly says that associating with a great one becomes great.
Yeah, yes. You know, once one devotee came to Srila Prabhupada and said, Srila Prabhupada, there are Mahajanas, the 12 Mahajanas, and they said, Prabhupada, you are the 13th Mahajan. And the Prabhupada immediately said, you are the 14th Mahajan, because you are in the association of the Mahajan. So the Sampradaya is Mahajanayena Gatasa. Just by walking on the path of great souls, you also become the great soul. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Such a nice talk. I was just thinking when we were young, then, it was something that they used to say that he's like Narada Muni. But they were saying Narada Muni because he will go to one place and say something and then to another place. So why they used to do that? But when we grew and when we became devotees, we know that Narada Muni is the, he is the bhakti, he's in charge of bhakti. But this is how when we were children, we were saying that the certain person, chugli. Yeah.
Yes, Narada was like that. Narada would definitely do what we are saying, but he would do for the welfare of the world. But people in this world don't do chugli for the welfare of the world. It's not for Loka Kalyanam. It's just to really make people fight actually. So in this world, people have the tendency to, tell things. So one person, a king, there was a king, and there was one barber who was shaving the king. And by mistake, he shaved his mustache off. So the king got really offended. He said, "My mustache is gone." Kings have this habit of doing this, no? Like they fold their mustaches. So his mustache is gone. So this person told, the king told the barber, "If you go and tell anybody the king's mustache is cut, I will cut your head." The moment king told him that don't tell anybody, he told stomach pain started. Then he was thinking, how will I not tell anybody? Then whenever he had this, calling, inner calling to tell this to somebody, he would remember that tomorrow if I tell anybody, my head will be cut. So he would keep quiet. And he was struggling very much. He was holding his stomach and he went home. And his wife was asking, what happened? What happened in the king's court today? And he was controlling himself. And everybody, whomever he would see, he would feel this uncontrollable pain in his stomach. And then finally, he dug a hole in the ground and he spoke the secret to Mother Earth. He said, today I went to the king's court and I cut off his mustache. And then he buried the secret. So the wife of this barber, she went and put some methi dana in it. What do you call methi dana? Methi in fenugreek. Fenugreek seeds. And fenugreek does not take long time to grow. Just takes 1 week. So in 1 week, the sprouts came. And the secret from the earth entered into this fenugreek, methi. And then the king said, it's my birthday. In this world, when we are there, somebody tells us, that's why he said, that if you want the message to spread, just tell them, don't tell this to anybody. That's it. But Narada was not like that. It was not that he could not control himself of telling things. But whenever he went and told whatever he had to tell, he had a reason. Like he came to Kamsa and he was giving advices to Kamsa just because he wanted Krishna to come to Mathura and kill Kamsa. He said, you know what Narada Muni said to Kamsa? You bring Krishna and Balaram on the name of fighting, Malla Yuddha, and they will come. And then Kamsa said, what should I organize? What festival should I organize? Then Kamsa says, you are doing a Dhanush Yajna. Tell them that you are doing a Dhanush Yajna. He gives ideas to Kamsa. He tells you are doing a Dhanush Yajna and tell everybody. And then who will go? Tell Akrura to go. Krishna will believe Akrura. Everything he told in his ears, just that Krishna comes and kills Kamsa. So whatever Narada does,
Based on their sadhana, we tend to take their association, but when we come closer, we find so many faults because of our conditioning and our immaturity. So, how to take association and how not to take association?
that's why it is very important to understand what association means and how we take association in spiritual life. Is we take association through the Bani. So when I was serving Radhanath Maharaj, Maharaj one time told that, see, when you are very close with a personality, you tend to see the apparent faults because Guru is not material, but he is in a material body. So when you are very close, you tend to see mistakes. That's why yesterday we were saying that everybody feels that the other yatra is very nice. Because we are very close with the devotees here, you tend to see and understand what mistakes they are doing. So, but Vani is without any mistake. The words are not contaminated. The words have no problem. And when we see a devotee closely, when we see a great soul closely, that's why we have to be very, very careful. When I was going to service of spiritual master, devotees would say that always remember that you are going near to a fire. The fire, if it is misused, may burn your hand. So always see your spiritual master like fire, like that they would say. They would think, my God, Maharaj is such a loving personality, and how should I see him like a fire? But then slowly in the service, I understood actually what they meant to see him as fire. So every great soul, every devotee is like that. Every devotee is very, very special because they are special to Krishna. So when it is in the association, one thing which we have to be very, very careful, the Vapu association, is that not to find faults. Because they are in the material body, but they're not the body. So that is something which we have to look for. And mostly we have to focus on the Vani. That's why we see, when we see my devote Pranavananda Prabhu who does that service, 24/7, he is with the earphones hearing lecture constantly, just to keep the consciousness up. Being close to a great soul is not very easy. It's very, very challenging. We have to be extremely non-judgmental, extremely silent. So that's why Vapu association, more than Vapu association, Vani association is very, very safe. Especially to those who have this kind of a judgmental mind. So it's not just about the great soul. We should not be judgmental of any devotee because that's not our service. Our service is to lovingly serve devotees, but not to find faults in the devotees. Somebody who has that kind of seva can do it. That too very careful. So if we have not given a service of finding fault with the devotees, then what about finding fault with the great soul? That's no question at all for us. Yes. Any other question or comments? No. Thank you all very much. And I seek blessings of Radha Govinda Prabhu, and I also seek forgiveness if I have spoken something.